Eireann Dolan, and welcome to Married to the Game. I am here with my co-host, Lexi Cozombolidis.
What's up, everybody?
We love having her here. And my friend, my close personal friend, Jamie Neal. She's a sports writer. She is fantastic, and I am so glad that she's here. You drove out from
Vegas.
Very far. A little Fear and Loathing. Yeah. And you came
Good
out.
Reference.
A lot of Fear and Loathing crossover audience between that movie and this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited you're here. And why are you here today?
I'm here because the Oakland A's are doing Pride Night, so I decided to drive out from Vegas and hang out with you and with Lexi, whom I've never met before. So
I know.
This is Lexi, by the way.
Yeah.
Lexi, this is Jamie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
well.
Thanks for being here.
So nice little road trip.
So last year you came out for this as well. It was almost a year ago, I think.
Yeah, 3 days away.
Right around this time. And you were kind of in a different mentality. You want to tell me a little bit about what that was like for you?
Sure. So I had just come out like 2 months before as transgender, and you reached out to me on Twitter and made me feel a lot more comfortable about it. And then all of a sudden, I looked my way into an A's ticket and decided to.
It doesn't take luck to get those. It takes $11 to
That's
get
true.
those.
I bought one on the way here today. Yeah, $11. Service fees were almost half the price of the ticket. It was outstanding.
I know. That's why you got to go to A's games. It'll save you a lot of money.
Yeah, AT&T, it's like $50.
Don't.
Oakland A's,
She's right
like
here.
11.
She's right
I
here,
know.
Jamie. She can hear you.
This is awkward.
So you had come out a little over a year ago then. When you first came out, what were you doing at the time, like as far as a job goes? What was your life like?
I was working at Chili's. I was a general manager for Chili's and writing sports on the side, and it's the same thing I'm doing now. Just in a totally different spot now than I was April 2015.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, but there were plenty of people who had been following you on Twitter. You had a pretty substantial following of people who knew you as Jason.
Yeah.
I hate to use that name. I know it's a dead name, but I just want to address this. You had a substantial following of people who knew you as a sports writer, as a sports commentator, and somebody who really knew their shit.
Yeah.
And so one day you just decided to, what was that?
So my birthday is April 4th, and I went out with some friends. We went to the Yard House, and I was laying in bed that night, and I was like, you know what? It'd be great to be able to do this all day, every day, and to not worry about posting a picture on Twitter and somebody seeing nail polish, or somebody seeing me on the street and knowing who I am, and they see a nose piercing, or they see nail polish, or whatever. I was thinking, and I talked to a couple of friends on Twitter, and got a nice little less than gentle shove. And I was like, all right. So I went to work Monday morning and sent out a tweet that said, I've kind of stood by long enough on trans, and I left the office for a little while and left my phone in there so that I didn't see the repercussions, which there were none. It was exceptional.
It was a proverbial mic drop.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it.
Boom.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was really an incredible thing because we had just had all this backlash to the Oakland A's deciding to host a Pride Night, our inaugural Pride Night over at the Coliseum, and you grew up an A's fan.
I did.
So did you see any of that backlash when you first, to be fair, I saw maybe 4 or 5 negative tweets at first when they first posted about it, right around that time.
Sure.
And that's obviously 4 or 5 too many. But had you seen any of that backlash? Had you witnessed any of that? Did you see the tweet to begin with that they were even having a Pride Night?
No, I had no idea until you and I started talking that we were doing Pride Night. I've been an A's fan since Jose Canseco and Walt Weiss and Mark McGwire played, so it's been years. And
I don't know who any of those people are.
We could say they're anything. We could say they're anything, and she'd believe it.
Yeah, yes, go on.
Yeah.
Weiss.
So it's been years. I don't know, 85, 86 is probably when I started following the A's. And so
it's a good time to start following them.
Yeah. Great. I was like 4 or 5, and I was like, I need a team.
Baseball is always like this. They're always amazing.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
We shouldn't talk about that part.
No. Got some championships, though. So, as an A's fan, then seeing that there was such an overwhelming response from fans to the backlash, sort of the backlash to the backlash, seeing how much larger the positive fans were than the negative, backlash. What was that like for you as somebody who was brand newly out?
So I'd struggled with whether I was gay, whether I was straight, whether I was trans. It's kind of a weird. It's a weird thing to try and figure out. It's not very easy.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So how did you navigate those waters? How are you, I mean, do you have a stance now on like whether or not you're gay, bi?
So
or-
I identify as a straight female now.
Okay.
But it took years. I mean, I knew about this when I was 10, and my parents would leave the house, and I'm on spring break from school, and run into my mom's room and steal her clothes. And then transgender wasn't a word that I was familiar with when I was 17, 18 years old. So it's okay, maybe you're just gay and you like the feminine things or whatever it is.
Is that what you had been thinking?
Right.
It was.
And then I moved to Vegas, and I wouldn't really commit to anything on the transgender side of things. Moved back to California. I dated a girl that I knew for 15 years. Moved back to Vegas.
You dated her for 15 years? Or
No,
okay.
we dated for a year and a half.
You'd known her for, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I've known
Okay.
her since 5th
I know. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's a long relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I moved back to Vegas and kind of tried to figure some stuff out, and this is where the dust settled, and it took me a good amount of time.
How
to get here.
liberated do you feel?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Or are you like, I'm exhausted from curling my hair?
No.
Yeah.
Because let me tell
Or
you.
crimping in some of our cases.
Crimping.
Yeah.
I know. I just crimped my hair, guys, right before I came over, and it did not come out how I envisioned it. So
That's because there are a couple last minute decisions that you never make before you walk
First
out
of all,
the door.
buying
as
a
woman.
crimper.
Buying a crimper is one of them.
in
That's not
2016. What was I
forget
thinking?
last minute decision. That's
Yeah.
not a decision. I actually have one. I'm not gonna lie. Only because I was like beachy waves, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
Not so much. Another decision you don't make is the eyeliner cat eye
Cat
thing.
eye.
Yeah. If you have 3
Stop it.
minutes to go before you have to walk out the door, don't ever
Yeah.
do a cat eye.
Nope.
You'll look like you're from The Cure.
I
What's his
know.
name? From The Cure. God damn it! I'm gonna remember his name immediately after you stop. Anyway.
Can't talk about
Anyway, yeah. So don't ever try the cat eye. Don't try red lipstick. It's
And
just
crimp.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And crimping.
Crimping.
But
Although
anyways.
this actually looks really good. I like it.
Oh,
I do too.
thanks. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh,
I like
guys.
it.
That's not bad.
That's why we brought it up. That's why she brought it up.
yeah,
She
so
wanted
I was like,
compliments about it.
No, but really, what helped you navigate through those waters? Because I would feel like so lost.
I've got great friends.
Who are also transgender, or
No.
just
So before this, I didn't really have any friends in the LGBT community at all. A couple here and there that went through what I went through and were navigating it, but nobody that had figured it out. But I've got really supportive friends. My family, I kind of kept it away from them as much as I could because it's family, and when I told them, I wanted to know what was going on. But yeah, I mean, I have a group of probably 15 people that are absurdly close to me that I can rely on for anything. And this is one of those things where it was, hey guys, I can't tell you how many conversations I had the same conversation 40, 50 times because I'm overly analytical.
how long did that take you to get from, okay, I don't know what this is that I want to do, or what I'm feeling, or, I'm sure there was so much confusion.
Yeah.
And just a lot of fear.
Yeah, a lot of fear.
So-
Probably 22 years, honestly.
22 years.
So 5th grade, I kind of started to
Yeah.
figure this out. And that
In the
was
5th grade.
32 and made a decision.
Yeah.
How do you mean when you say you feel? First of all, I understand that you are not, every transgender person is not you, and your story is
Right.
your story.
Sure.
And I also understand that when you come out as transgender, similar to when you come out as gay, when you come out as lesbian, really anything, if it's a minority, if it's something that a lot of people don't understand, unfortunately you are foisted this role of being the transgender representative.
Yeah.
For the world. So everything you do has to be perfect. When you order at Starbucks, it has to be the perfect way. When you do, like, everything you do, when you're at a job,
Because
otherwise,
also, like, you were a public figure
Yeah.
before this transition,
I
right?
don't think
She
I was
was.
a public figure.
Yeah. She
was.
I'm told that, and that's flattering. I had, I don't know, 1,000, 1,200 Twitter followers, which is decent.
they were influential though. They were super influential followers.
Yeah, we had I had some people who are bigger names that follow me and that I'd converse with. you just take your time. It's, like I said, I'm overly analytical. So I thought about every situation, every reaction to every situation. I played out every perfect scenario and the worst case scenario, and how all of those things would work out simultaneously. Like, hey, what are you going to do if this happens? That's how I am. So it took me a long time to get there, but we got there, and I think the first day I had one negative comment on Twitter, and it was from some guy who I hadn't talked to in 2 years. Like, he responded to a tweet from like 500 days before, and I was like,
loser.
How did you even...
Like, that was so 500 days ago.
500 days ago.
Get
500
out.
days of summer ago.
Just get out.
Yeah.
If you're looking that far back to feel angry or upset about something, what's your life?
One guy.
Yeah.
One.
That's good.
Yeah.
And there was people who live here that are part of the 49ers Twitter community, just Bay Area sports, that I was really, really, really nervous about. And those people reaching out and saying positive things, and then you and Sarah Koga and just so many other people that made it. Sid Ziegler, who gives me a spot on his site.
He's the editor at
Outsports,
Outsports, which is SB Nation.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yeah. And so it was kind of a lot more welcoming. It was a whole lot of worrying for nothing. So,
Was it for nothing though? I mean, was there at any point, were some of the fears founded? Because you did have to come out several times, I think, in some ways, just to your friends, to yourself, to
Family,
family,
right?
and then to sports.
So I've got some family members that aren't on board with this, and that's okay. They're entitled to their opinion. I'm entitled to mine.
Do you want us to call them?
Yeah,
'Cause they don't-
absolutely.
This is not an opinion, though, by the way. It's not an opinion. If you've known since you were 10 years old, since you were old enough to know before there was even a word for it in your mind, that's not an opinion, you know?
No, it's not. It's not an opinion to me.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
But for them and their ideology and their thought process, it doesn't coincide, and that's all right. Because I've got people in my life who are okay with this. I read a piece that I wrote, I don't know, probably just around a year ago. And it was super positive and bubbly and wonderful. And I read this on Friday or Saturday. And it's weird because I'm a lot more cynical now
Being on Twitter? What?
than I was then, because of the experiences that I've had where people say stupid stuff, just dumb. And
Not on the internet.
no, keyboard warriors are the worst.
Yeah.
and it's probably influenced from, I wrote this piece on Kurt Schilling,
That's what I wanted to talk about, yeah.
and
We'll back up a little bit and say, initially, Kurt Schilling, who we actually talked about last time.
Yeah.
For some reason, he
sounded
seems
familiar.
to pop up. Yeah, evolution. We were talking about evolution.
that
Yeah.
guy is just staying in the limelight no matter how hard we try to
I
let him
know.
go.
He's like, who wants to talk the Scopes monkey trial today? And we're like, stop with your opinions. Someone take away his Twitter account, please.
Yeah.
And so he had posted a Facebook meme on his account, his personal
Right.
account, that
Yeah.
it was public though.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it initially. What had happened?
Kurt Schilling and I aren't friends on Facebook, so it had to be public because I saw it.
Yeah.
And it was this person presenting as a female, but there's no context for it.
Yeah.
And it's a really...
It was an image of a person presenting as female.
Right.
Yeah.
But it could have been a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
It could have been a dare. It could have been how this person goes in their day-to-day life. No idea.
Yeah.
And said, if you don't let this person go to the bathroom with your wife and kids, you're a racist, hateful, bigot, whatever.
Making fun of people who would be implying that, you know, there was a transgender issue in bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know, there are people literally saying transgender people should pee in bushes. And that was where our political discourse was.
Yeah.
And people were saying, no, I just, you know, if I'm a target with them, I don't want to hear them pee. And it's like, why are you listening?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
I go as far away from everybody as possible in the bathrooms. I don't want to be near anybody.
Period.
I don't want to
The
be
end.
near you in the bathroom. And I like you.
I know. I like you a lot. I don't need to hear you pee.
No.
But like, it's just one of those, like, I'm not going to be listening for it.
I try to hide my shoes so no one knows it's me.
I run the water. You like see like
Yeah, I keep them.
what does that look like?
I just try to keep them as like in straight lines, you know, like this, so no one can see them at the edge.
Okay.
Because just in case I have to drop a deuce, I don't want anyone to
Oh
know
my
that it's
God,
me.
where are you?
You know,
Just like in your home bathroom.
when you gotta go, you gotta go. You know.
No, I don't use public bathrooms for
You
dropping
won't?
deuces. No.
What?
Okay.
No.
You
I
won't
drove
use-
from Vegas to Sacramento last night, and I didn't drop a deuce until I got to my friend's house that I'm staying at.
You won't use a public bathroom
I
at
didn't-
all.
No. I will once in a while. So I run a restaurant.
Yeah.
My name's on the front door.
Okay.
I don't use the
Yeah, do what
bathroom.
you want.
I don't use the bathroom anymore.
What?
No.
What happens if you have to go?
You gotta go.
So
But-
what?
You'll just hold it?
Are they gender bathrooms, like
Yeah.
male, female?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole other issue we need to talk about.
It is a
Yeah,
whole
that's something that we don't even think about, because like something as basic as having to pee, which I have to pee right now, and you know how much that like it takes ending this for me to go pee,
Yeah.
like where I want to.
Right.
But in your life, and I know that you are not representative of everybody, and I
Right.
don't want you to think that we want you to speak for everybody. I'm
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
asking
Caitlyn
about you
Jenner.
because
Don't do that.
we don't need that.
No.
I don't like it.
No.
I want to know what your experience is in something that's basic as a bathroom. What is that like for you? A public bathroom?
I haven't had a negative experience.
But you haven't gone to the bathroom. That's
I
why.
won't
Yeah.
put myself in those
You've had to pee for the
situations.
last year.
It's for me. I know.
Sorry, I just get
You're
frustrated
fine,
that you
no.
have to do this. That people are.
I
Sorry.
get frustrated really, really easily with stupidity.
Yeah.
And so if something were said, I don't know that I trust myself to mind my tongue when it's said. And if it turned into something bigger,
Like in a bathroom setting.
yeah. Then it's just not worth it to me to fight with somebody or for something bigger to happen. These idiots in Target who are running around preaching or putting bombs in Target bathrooms.
Kicking in doors.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
doing that in
Yeah, no.
Target. I'm like,
No.
I'm trying
Could
to
you
buy
use the family room?
I could,
Yeah.
and I would.
Yeah.
I would utilize a family
I
bathroom.
just worry for you.
Yeah, does that
and
seem
your
like?
bowel.
I mean, is that even a long-term solution? Like using a family
No,
restroom?
that's not
which
a
is
long-term
both- yeah.
solution.
All right, so let's
Because
jump
most-
back.
Yeah.
So when I wrote this Kurt Schilling article about the meme,
Oh yeah, we started with that. Too.
Oh yeah.
a bunch of his supporters who had hashtag.
Well, what did you
and-
say?
Am I allowed to cuss on this podcast?
Yeah.
Or this? I said he's a little bitch. Like you.
Yeah, he is.
Look, so I sent him a tweet, and he
we're
sent
getting
me
hired
two
at
back,
ESPN.
and then he blocks me, so he can't see anything else I say. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like whatever, you don't have to listen to me. That's fine. So I wrote an article saying how damaging what he had done is, and he wrote this Facebook post. Hey, my kid has gender neutral friends or friends who have gender identity.
I'm sure your
things
kids'
they're working
friends love
through.
you using them as a shield.
Right, probably. And
Isn't that what kids are for?
yeah.
Just like let them. Yeah.
Is it
See,
yours?
that's the I have a black friend of
That's a
Facebook
really good-
memes.
That's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
Kind of is.
I have-
My
Yeah.
son has a friend who his nephew is gay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would never. I didn't even. And then he said he didn't even post that
Right.
image.
But there were screenshots, and he did.
yeah,
And he's an
screenshots
asshole.
exist. For somebody who lives on social media, you should know that, right?
Yeah.
That's why I never put anything out there. 'Cause I know social media is forever.
So
Yeah.
I told him, or I wrote an article saying how damaging it was and why it's damaging. And
Why did you think, as a transgender individual or as a sports fan, to see somebody who is a hero to so many people?
I rooted for that guy in
I
04.
know.
Really, really hard.
That's exactly what Sully said last week.
Yeah.
I loved that story.
Yeah.
That's
And so
really
it was
hard.
really, really hard because it
Yeah.
was, hey, somebody that I held in high regard at some point does this.
Yeah.
But it's such an uninformed opinion.
Yeah.
And he's spreading it to Trump supporters. Like, I swear to God, 3/4 of the people who talk to me on Twitter had "Make America Great Again" in their profile. And I'm like, all right, this is what I'm dealing with.
Is this great?
I'm
What
just
is-
like, why do they care so much?
Yeah.
Like, why? What does it matter?
Keyboard warriors need something to fill their time with while they're getting paid by their companies
It's
to
just
not
like,
work.
it kills me. I think, pretty sure I went to like a Phil's bathroom and it was co-ed. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's,
And
A lot of bathrooms in Europe are.
yeah, it's
So
like,
one
who
of the guys-
cares?
Yeah.
One of the guys was like, well, businesses should have to create gender neutral bathrooms. And I'm like, cool. So every company in the world,
World
or
has to
at
do
least our
this.
country,
Yeah.
has to invest more money because you're
Small
a closed-minded
business-
asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my Chili's that I
Because
work
you're listening
at,
to people.
we don't have a spot. There's no. I've
Yeah.
done the math in my head. There's nowhere I can think of to put a family restroom. We have
Yeah.
3 stalls in the women's room, 2 urinals, and 2 stalls in the men. Where are we going to put this?
So you literally manage a restaurant that you cannot pee in. You
I can't.
feel uncomfortable
So
peeing in.
Chili's is great.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that you personally, not
Yeah.
it's not
No,
policy.
it's my.
Chili's
it's
is
my-
great.
So if you
Trying
had
to get that Chili's
to,
money.
where do you go? Like, if you had to go in public, do you?
I don't. I
but I mean, not just for you, but if someone else, like, what's I don't know the
everybody's
protocol on
temperament.
that. Like, what do you?
It's everybody's temperament. So there's some people who aren't me, who aren't 6'2", who don't have a really deep voice and huge hands, and they pass a little bit better. So it's a little bit easier for them in certain situations if they have the courage to do it.
Yeah.
There's some people who don't pass well at all, and they choose different avenues, or they choose to go to the bathroom anyways and say, fuck it, I don't really care. And that's okay too. But for me, I have a low tolerance for stuff.
Yeah.
So if I walked out of the bathroom and some guy was waiting there with his wife who was like, oh, there's a tranny in the bathroom, and he confronted me about it, I don't trust myself to not go to jail over that.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't. It might get to a point where something stupid said, and I'm like,
Yeah.
look, but it doesn't happen to me a lot.
Yeah.
I'm lucky in a sense because I'm huge and people don't fuck with me too much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, all right, well.
But you're still really mindful that you don't use the bathroom, and that sucks.
And
that you
at
have to
my
like
restaurant,
plan your whole event around that.
I plan.
You're like, no thanks, I won't have any liquids. Like,
I don't
what?
even drink water. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
like
I'm good. No.
Yeah.
I hesitated to ask her if I could use her bathroom today. That's not true. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. You did wait a little
Aaron's
while.
ready to
and
flip
I'm
the
thinking
table.
back,
What? Use the bathroom.
I always want people
I'll
to
be
pee.
right next to you. Like,
I just love you so much.
Yeah.
I just want you to be comfortable.
I'm good. But
So that's like one of those things that
Yeah.
we don't even think
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing was the ticket situation. We had you out to a game, another A's game a couple weeks ago.
scored 16 runs. It was
We
a good
scored
game.
16 runs,
It was a
by the
good
way.
game.
The first time she came to a game with me was Pride Night last year. We scored, I
I
think,
guess we scored
16.
12
We
the
did.
other
We
day.
scored 16 runs the
Yeah.
first time she came
Yeah.
to a game with me. The second time she came to a game with me,
Scored 12.
we scored 12 runs and we won. So she's definitely coming tonight.
Yeah.
And we're
There's a lot
definitely
of
gonna-
pressure.
yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on
I
this
know.
game.
I know. There's a lot
Sean's
riding
like,
on
hey,
this.
we scored double-digit runs, and I was like, hey, can you
I
tell
know.
your whole team I'm there to try really
know.
extra hard, please?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, I'm rooting.
So superstition, that was obviously, you
Yeah.
know, it works. So we
Right.
love having you. But moving forward, I mean, at that point, you asked us to leave your ticket. Well, I mean, what was that? What happened there?
So my driver's license doesn't say Jamie yet. Number one, it's expensive to change. It's almost $1,000 to change your name. It's stupid.
What?
Yeah, true
And
story.
don't you have to also like publicly do something?
Yeah,
like,
I
you have
gotta
to like
put my name in the paper for 3 weeks.
Nikes.
You have to put, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
In some states that you have to put your name in the paper and announce I'm
I'm changing my name from
So-and-so.
Jason Neal to Jamie Neal. So that, and it's a legit reason. It's so
Yeah.
that anybody who has debt can't skirt the debt by changing their name. I get it, but it's expensive and time consuming, and
and it can
I haven't
be
done it.
Someone in
embarrassing
debt can
for
pay
some
$1,000 for a name change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then maybe we should.
people. Yeah.
Welcome to America,
Yeah, geez.
capitalists.
That's insane.
But you guys were really great and left me tickets, and I took an easy way out. And I wrote an article about this last week where I chose to go to the game as Jason instead of Jamie, because what happens if I walk up to the will call window and the person who's making $9.50 an hour to hand out tickets has an issue and doesn't want to hand me the tickets because it says Jamie and I'm there as Jamie, but my license says Jason. There's a picture of a fat dude on the picture. Like, it's something that I had to figure out, and so yeah, it wasn't great. So that process has started, the name change thing, but
Yeah.
it's pricey. And,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating. So I got the form. I did one little thing. I got this form I'm supposed to get to start
Really?
the whole thing. But
Congratulations.
thanks. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Because I
that's
know when I came there, I love spending time with you when you are comfortable
Right.
as yourself.
Yeah.
And when you are like, why would you want, I don't want to spend time with people who don't feel like they are fully who they are. And I understand you had your reasons to do that. Like, I mean, that kind of speaks to the kind of person that you are, and that you didn't even want to have, you were like assuming that there might be an issue. So you just were protecting people around you
Yeah.
for you.
Well,
From you know that.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think of it like that, but you're not wrong. I think of it as I managed the situation the best way that I possibly could as quickly as I could.
Minimizing possible.
You do what you can to get through. That's kind of my life philosophy. Just get through and make the best life you possibly can. So I got to hang out with you and two of my really good friends that I've known for 12 and
That's fun.
14 years. And I wasn't the most comfortable. And I met Sean. I'd never met Sean before. And I'm standing there and I'm like, this guy. And
You'd never met Sean before because we didn't get a chance to sit in the tunnel after the game last year. But.
Yeah. It just didn't work out timing wise.
Yeah.
I think he was doing some training stuff because he had been injured.
Oh,
recently.
he was hurt. Yeah, that's right.
And so
this was your first time having met him.
Yeah. And I was standing there and I was like, you and he had done so much last year with Pride, and I'm standing there in my Oakland A. Curry 2s and jeans and a t-shirt.
It's true, she has those.
And I'm like, oh, this is awful. And that's the feeling that I have, which was a great feeling to have in retrospect. But at the time I was like, oh, he's done a ton for this. And I've spoken with him several times on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's super supportive, and so were my two friends, and you were, and it's like, all right, well,
I know.
Here we are.
It's easy to say, well, just fuck them, like do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But like that's so easy for us to say when we don't have to think about what line we get in for the bathroom, you know?
Go ahead.
I'm just like, where did you find the courage and like that moment for you that you were just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want finally? Like, I feel like I struggle and like I don't have that kind of confusion or even like a big leap, but even just being myself and in the public eye is really difficult. So like at what point like did you feel that you were like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it? Like that's so brave and inspiring that I'm like, there's no reason why I can't openly come out and say I'm a Harry Potter fan, you know? Like
I'm a gamer.
Good for you. Yeah.
But when was that moment for you?
It was at Yard House. Actually, it wasn't. I was laying in bed that night, and it was, God, this would be so much better. And it took me 2 days, but it's a daily thing, and like courageous and bravery and all that stuff, inspiration. Like those are really great words to hear. I just don't think of those because I look at myself in the mirror every day, and I'm just doing what I can. But there's times when I got to go talk to a table that has a bacon burger that's overcooked. And it's like, oh, I wonder what I'm walking into right now.
Yeah.
And you've got this little jar of courage that I kind of have to dip into once in a while. And it's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And it's like that when you go out, or when I go out. It's going to Target, going to Ulta, going to the grocery store. Ours out there, Smith's. I know we have Lucky's out here. Lucky's, come to Vegas, please. You're so much better.
In so many places.
Yeah.
Yard House.
Yard House is the best. Oh God.
We should write that into your story somehow,
nachos.
just to get Yard House money too.
They're phenomenal.
And good hummus.
But I can sit at home. I can have Amazon deliver me groceries. I can have them bring me toilet paper.
Yeah.
We definitely do that.
No, never.
Yeah.
I can do all those things. Or I can take a deep breath and head up, shoulders back, and go to an A's game. And go into Target. And it sucks that you have to like head up, shoulders back sort of deal. Because that never happens, Jason. Jason's easy. Tennis shoes, jeans, t-shirt, backward baseball hat, done. Cakes and pies.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy. I'd sit on Twitter and I'd send something out and I'd get a good response. And I'm like, I wonder what that response would be as Jamie. I wonder if people are going to think, oh, you don't know your shit because you're a chick. I've had people recently. Hey, I thought, when I saw this tweet, I thought, wow, this chick really knows football. And then I look at the picture and I'm like, oh, it's a dude. And I'm like, oh, you're an asshole.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
But it's got to be hard for some of these guys who think they know football so well, and then there's this transgender chick who knows it as well or better.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little bit hit to the manhood. Like, you know, I do a podcast with 7 other 49ers fans, and these guys are great, and they're all super knowledgeable, and none of them are offended or affected by this because they're confident. But what if you're not confident as a dude?
Right.
And then there's somebody in the LGBT community who you disparage and make fun of all the time with your buddies.
Who knows it better than you do?
Right. It's gotta suck a little bit.
And who's done things that are braver than I think any of us could. I don't want people to see like my Google search history. Like,
you know, you can look up your full Google.
Nope, you can't.
I'm gonna share it with you.
Mine's like, what is a cycle in baseball? What
did Hunter do last night?
So
SF Giants win? Question mark tonight.
You and I. Okay, so I'll help you with the sports stuff, and you teach me how to crimp my hair.
Oh God, are you sure you want me to crimp your hair?
Yes.
Have you seen this?
Did we just become best friends?
We did. I'm into it.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
This is awesome. For you, I really hope that you can get to a place where you are surrounded by people you can trust enough to love you for who you are and what you are and everything about you, period. I hope that you're there.
My friends are, like I said, I've got this group that's incredible. Outstanding in every way. Vegas friends, a few from California that I keep in touch with before I moved in 04. And a lot of support from random people that I've never met, just that I converse with on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. I get to meet people like you through this, the fantastic production crew. They've been great all day.
Oh, yeah.
And so
They're pretty cool.
You know,
all right.
You just broke the fourth wall, but anyway.
I did. I'm like the female Zach Morris.
I love it.
Female, yes.
I'm not Kelly Kapowski.
Time out.
She's still involved.
That's Smokey-Atto.
Yeah,
that is all Kelly Kapowski. She's got it figured out.
She does.
Trying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've got great support. I really do. It's more about Orlando, and it's more about North Carolina and Tennessee and these states who are introducing. There was over 200 anti-LGBT bills introduced into legislation last year, and then you get the biggest mass shooting in the United States history.
Yeah.
It's 2016.
Like 2 days ago.
So what happens when that guy finds out that I'm transgender and I run the Chili's he goes to? Like, those are the thoughts that make me nervous about being me. 10% of every group of people I want nothing to do with. I want 10% of white people that are awful, terrible, just crap human beings. I don't want to be affiliated with them.
Yeah.
There's 10% of every group that makes it really, really bad.
Yeah.
So the 90% outweighs all of that. But that 10%, it's what you hear about with the Muslims, and it's what you hear about. It's everything that Donald Trump says. All the things he says, those are the 10%.
Yeah.
And so what happens when that dude finds out that I run a Chili's and he comes to my restaurant, or that dude just happens to walk into the same restaurant bar that I'm in? Those are the things that make my heart beat a little bit faster and make me more concerned. It's not you. It's not the A's fans tonight. It's not the guy who I walked past at the gas station last night when I had to get a Red Bull. It's none of those people. It's the small contingent of stupid people who have no idea what they're doing or talking about. And they negatively impact everything, because that's the whole news cycle. That's all they focus on. He was Muslim. Great. That's a religion. That has nothing to do with who he is as a person.
Right.
Or who the rest of that religion is. So.
I think that's something that we do take for granted, is that, his goal was terrorism, to instill terror and
success.
But I it's easy for me to say I don't want you to be scared and I don't want you to let him win, but I'm not. That's not. I want you not to be afraid.
We're getting there.
But that's not your job. It's not on you anymore. It's on everybody else. It's everybody else's responsibility to value the sanctity of life and to value the sanctity of another human being and understand that.
Right, but even for us, that's a problem too. Like, I walk down the street, at night, and I'm always looking over my shoulder. It's just.
But you guys having me on the show, like, that does something. And
I hope so.
I have a friend who asked me, did you ever think you'd be an advocate or an activist for this when you came out? And my answer was no. But you kind of fall into that role when you have an opportunity to educate people about stuff from a first-hand experience point of view. So you have Caitlyn Jenner with the TV show. Great, phenomenal. She's part of the 1%, and she has
it's a great deal of privilege behind that.
Right, huge. She got to disappear for like 8 months and come out a totally different person. I've got to make sure I shave my face every morning before I go to the grocery store or Starbucks, so that my 5 o'clock shadow doesn't poke through my foundation at the end of the day. It's totally different situations, and they're both valid. I learned stuff from her. A lot of stuff. So when you have a chance to educate people and you have a chance to, you can't hate somebody whose story you know. It's really hard to do that. Unless you're a Kardashian, and then you can hate them. But it's really hard to.
Except their makeup. Their makeup is flawless. I think that's why Caitlyn does such a good job. She knows that Kardashian makeup.
Jesus,
I know.
I'll agree with her.
Teach me your ways.
Yeah.
Highlighting and contouring, I swear to
Love
God.
it.
So yeah, when you have a chance to educate people, you kind of fall into it. And you guys letting me come on and speak with all of you, you learn something. You may not agree with me,
Hope so.
but you'll learn something and you'll take something away. And then when your kid comes out as trans in 17 years, because that's a thing, maybe you'll think back to this, or maybe you'll think back to I Am Kate, or whatever. You'll draw on this at some point, and hopefully it makes it a little bit easier. You can hate me, but maybe it'll make it easier for somebody 5, 6, 7 months down the road, 5, 6, 7 years down the road.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna go to the A's game tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep writing. I'm gonna keep making guys uncomfortable because I know sports, and I don't know them as well as some people do, but I know what I'm talking about. So we're just gonna do what we can do, and we'll positively impact as much as we can.
I hope this helps. Yeah, I hope that this helps a lot of people see that you're a normal person. Like, you know more about.
There's our fourth guest.
It's our fourth guest to the phone.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah, we got time anyway. So, all right, was it?
We're good. Time in.
Time in. All right. So what was I saying? Shit, what was I saying?
Hopefully people can look back on this.
Hopefully people can learn something from this, and in seeing you, that you're a normal person, that you love sports, that you know everything about the 1986 Oakland A's, that you know that, like, you...
The 86 Giants were so much more lovable than the 86 A's. It's a true story.
Speaking her language now.
They were so much more lovable. Sorry, A's fans, it's true.
I didn't hear it. I think, I hope that this has helped some people see that people are all around you.
Yeah.
Like, there are people all around you. You think that there's this other, when you tend to other people and think that LGBT individuals are something other than you. I hope this helps you see that, no, they're sitting next to you in a sports game. They are, serving you dinner. They are on your favorite 49ers podcast. I hope that this does something. I mean, that's kind of, I'm glad. I also just wanted to talk to you, and I'm really glad that you're here. So
also, kudos to Jamie's friends for being such an awesome soundboard and platform for him to really feel comfortable. You guys are awesome people, and I love that. Like, I love that you just gave them the credit for all of this. Like, that's...
You don't do these things on your own, though.
That's amazing.
You don't. You do these things with other people supporting you and pushing you and letting you soundboard off of them and learn. I learn their perspectives and learn, hey, you shouldn't do this, or you can't say that, or whatever it is. It's not just me. If it was me, do you know how many stupid mistakes I'd make if I did this by myself? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be a nightmare. I wouldn't know how to do makeup. I wouldn't know how to talk to people. I wouldn't know how to bring this up to different people and have honest, open discussions. My friends have given me that confidence to be like, oh, hey, I have friends who are Republican and Democrat, independent, from New York, from Colorado, from California. I get a little bit of everything. And so you learn how to phrase things and you learn how to say things to make people kind of understand and kind of look at it from a different perspective.
That's just a good rule in general, I feel like, for people, right? Like,
I agree. Let's just... Can we all just get along?
I know, right? I love that.
And watch YouTube.
Seriously,
because that's where you find your makeup tutorials that are so amazing. That's where you find Lexi. That's where you find this. Get your crimp on. That's where you find this. I am so glad that we had you on here. I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I hope we can have you back at some point. This is really awesome to talk to you.
It's only a 7 to 9 hour drive. Yeah, come to Chili's, eat explosion salads.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I absolutely will.
Vegas Chili's? Are you kidding me? That's like...
It's my Vatican.
Yeah, it's Disneyland.
It's my Vatican.
It's Disneyland for chili fanatics.
Disneyland for chili fanatics. I love that.
God, Chili should just sponsor this podcast. I'll make a call.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
I
know nobody at marketing. Not a person.
See what we can do.
Well, thank you so much for being on. And you know the deal.
If you guys like this video, please be sure to hit that like button and let us know in the comments below what you thought of this podcast. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please be sure to do so. And thanks again, Jamie, for being here.
Thanks for having
me,
really
appreciate it.
Nice
and Eireann and Lexi, married to the game. Bye.